Good morning. I know exactly what you're thinking, and we're just going to not mention it, and we're going to move on very rapidly. I've got 2 PlayStation 1 games and 6 PlayStation 3 games, which I've accumulated these past couple of weeks. Not spent a lot of money, apart from on one of them, which is a brand new release. Oh, actually, I've got to talk about it, just in case anyone's watching this for the first time thinking, are you in a time warp or something? Movember, right? That's all you've got to know. Movember. Now, I did issue a disclaimer in my last video saying that, I've possibly got an interview coming up soon for work, and I can't have a moustache in it. Well, I mean, I can, but I just look a bit stupid, so that will be coming off probably before the end of the month. So this is probably going to be the last one this month that you're going to see. Maybe next November I'll do it. I don't know, but maybe I shouldn't do it next November, because this is just a stark warning to how silly I look with with anything resembling a moustache. Let's move on. So like I said, I've got, did I tell you I've got 6 PlayStation 3 games and 2 PS1 games? Let's get the PS1 games out of the way first. Now, this first one isn't particularly good, but the reason, every time I look up at the camera I think, what a dickhead. But the reason why I picked it up is because it comes in one of these long boxes, which is slightly more, well, not rare, but I guess a little bit more uncommon than, obviously, the standard ones. Now, this one is called NBA in the Zone. Sound like my voice broke a minute there. Went really high-pitched. NBA in the Zone. Not a particularly good game, but like I say, one which I wanted to get because it's in this long box. And when you open it up, for the benefit of anyone who doesn't know, just open up, cardboard box, get the instructions, which nearly fell out, CD, and a little bit of foam to protect whatever it protects. So that's that one. Doesn't look particularly great, but, what do you expect from an old game? Next one up, and last one for this pickup video for a PlayStation 1, is the original Gran Turismo, coming in one of these double case kind of things here. Similar, really, to the PAL cases, double case ones. In fact, almost identical, maybe just slightly smaller. Kind of looks the same, really. And obviously in there you just get the instructions and the discs and the usual stuff. So this actually looks quite good, bearing in mind it was a PS1 era. And I mean, just when did this come out? In 98? Oh, 1998. So this is really around about the time where I was just starting to come off the PS1. 95 to, say, 98 was when I was really into it. And then, I wouldn't say everything that came out after 98 passed me by, but pretty much everything. I'd moved on by then to the N64, I think a year before, really. And then, when did Dreamcast come out? 99? I think so. Yeah, so, anything after sort of 98 on the PS1, I've never really played. And don't really have any intention or desire to pick any up. I kind of missed them first time round, and I'm not really bothered about them now, unless there's some really stellar titles which, are worth picking up. Okay, so 6 PlayStation 3 games. We've got 3 older games. When I say older, I mean with the old logo, so kind of pre-2009, 2008, 2009. And then we've got 3 since then. Now, really, in all honesty, there's only 2 I really wanted out of these 6, but the other ones were stupidly cheap, I mean, to the point of being under $5. And to me, I thought that's a bargain. Because just, for the benefit of anyone who, just trying to put it into context, like, I don't know, a Milky Way is going to cost about 80 cents. So, I mean, you can get like 4 Milky Ways, 5 Milky Ways, and a stupid analogy. Or you can get like a game, and I just thought, well, I'll just get a game. There's some people that'd rather have the Milky Way. And I guess in hindsight, maybe I'd rather have a few Milky Ways than some of these games. But anyway, I've got them now. First one up is Fight Night Round 3, with Oscar de la Hoya on the front, I think. Yeah. I've not actually played this version on the PS3. I did play it a couple of years ago on the 360. I tried to get into it, but I think by then Round 4 had come out. So as ever, my mind kind of, the way it works, it was like, oh, well, it's kind of an old game, I'll just play the new one. So I didn't really get into this on the 360 as a result, and I never did, or haven't yet, got Fighting Out Round 4, or any other subsequent release. But I am a very casual boxing fan, so I am looking forward to getting into that eventually. Next one up is one which, again, I've said this so many times in the past, it's like an RPG game, sort of a hack and slash, or that's how it looks anyway. Not really my thing, to be honest. I've got to be honest. 2 lots of honest there, that didn't work, that sentence. So yeah, Genji, or Genji, Days of the Blade. I mean, it does look quite good, if you're into that kind of thing. Nothing particularly spectacular, but I think it looks alright. and it's, you know, all complete. Is that a map it comes with? I don't know. Something there. So, yeah, one of the earliest ones there, I think 2006, 2007. Yeah, so 2006, so an oldish game, or very old game for the PS3. It's kind of funny, I guess because there's so many games, you know, they're just mass-produced these days for the PS3, the 360, that we're not really going to get any rare games as such, or I wouldn't have thought so. You know, you look at the days of the PS1 where games weren't as popular, and go back generations further than that. And, you know, old games are worth a lot of money, but I'm just wondering whether these games in this day and age are ever going to be worth a lot of money, because they're so widely available. So it does make you think, what's the point really kind of picking them up, you know, unless you're going to play them? I don't know. Maybe you'd be better off, anybody, going for full collections or big collections of older consoles. You know, that's probably a way to make your money. I don't know. Depends why you're into it, you know. I guess we should all be into games to play them and enjoy them rather than just to make money on them. Anyway, next up, but not least, is Bionic Commando. This one came out in 2009, so it must have been just literally a few weeks, perhaps, before the old logo kind of, or this old logo disappeared and the new one came into effect. And this looks pretty good from looking at the back of the screenshots. Almost like well, I don't know, I was going to say free roaming, but it's hard to judge. It looks like a cross from just simply looking at the screenshots of like a Metal Gear Solid-y stealthy kind of thing, to like an infamous, I don't know, I could be completely wrong, I've never played it, but it kind of looks that way. The graphics look really good, but then again, it's only 2 or 3 years old. So that looks alright, but again, all them games under $5, including this next one actually, but this is a newer game with a new logo on, and this came out 2009 according to the back. I said according, like it's lying, obviously it's 2009. It actually looks rubbish. It looks absolutely rubbish, but again, for the price, $4, I didn't and don't care. And it's a stupid title, Fairy Tale Fights. Looks kind of, you know, a bit deceiving in a way, because you look at the front and you see, well, initially, at a quick glance, it looks very kind of cartoony and cutesy until you analyse it, and you see that it's, you know, they're chopping each other's bloody limbs and stuff off there, and it looks pretty gruesome. Obviously just a game, and it's all very cartoony, but not quite sure what's going on there. And then there's two games, the last two games, that I've got on this pickups video, and let's save the probably obvious one till last. Now, this one, I saw Pete Statistically do a gameplay of it maybe about a year ago, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, and I'd wanted to get it before I saw that video, but watching that video made me really want to get it. Now, it has taken me a long time to get it back into, well, not back into the collection, to get it into the collection, but I guess it was one of them things where I wanted to pick it up, but it had to be at the right price, and every time I ever saw it, because it's still a relatively new release, well, 2010, and the price wasn't really coming down to an acceptable figure as far as I was concerned. You know, it was always around about $20, $18, and while that's not a lot of money, I wanted to wait, but it wasn't coming down, until I saw it on Amazon the other day, on the, what is it, the Amazon warehouse kind of deal. I don't think we have that in the UK, but we've got it over here in America. And basically, the Amazon warehouse is where games maybe have been opened already by accident, by someone who works for Amazon, or it could have been games which are used, which is usually the case, and sometimes they're still sealed. They could be used and never played. Excuse me. There could be a number of reasons. This one is pretty much mint condition. It looks as if it's never been played, to be honest with you. Anyway, enough of the suspense. It's 007 Bloodstone. And like I said, I've wanted to get this for a long, long time. And when I saw Pete do the gameplay of it, it just looked great, because I'm a massive James Bond fan. Absolutely love the series, love the character. I just think it's the coolest movie, coolest set of movies, if I can say it right, ever. I really do. It's just a great movie. I love other stuff, like Star Wars, goes back to my youth. But really, 007, James Bond, legend. Who doesn't like James Bond? Come on. And if you don't, you should too. So, yeah, that's that one. And I really like, I don't know how much stealth is in the game, but I love the idea of playing it in a stealth mode, just being very much the silent kind of assassin. I like the idea of doing that, but maybe it isn't that kind of game. I can't remember when I watched the gameplay. Maybe it's just very much in-your-face first-person shooter, and if it is, then so be it, but I'm going to try and approach it in a very stealthy way. Looking forward to playing that, very much so. And yeah, last up but not least is a game which, well, I'll show you what it is straight away without messing around, and then I'll talk a little bit about it. It is, and shut the case, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Now, you may be thinking, or you may not be, But you may be thinking, well, hang on a minute, I thought when it comes to Call of Duty and first-person shooters, you get that on the 360. That's what you've always said. And here you are getting it on the PS3, you liar. Yeah, well, I don't know, lie is a bit strong. But the reason why, and this is it in a nutshell, basically, you know, when it comes to Call of Duty on this generation of systems, be it the PS3 or the 360, I have always played these, pretty much always, on, at least initially, on the 360. And the reason being, as I've said many times before, we'll say many times again, is the controller. I'm just much better with a 360 controller, just purely through experience when it comes to Call of Duty. And so anytime I ever went on one of these games online, I was awful. I mean awful. And obviously it wasn't enjoyable, because if you're doing badly, where's the fun in that? And consistently badly. So I never really played it on the PS3. I've picked the games up subsequently, like used, for the sake of the collection. But taking them online for the PlayStation 3 doesn't really happen. But the reason why I did it with this one is because, I don't know, I just thought that I'd been playing a lot of Call of Duty over the years, and I was really let down, it sounds really childish, I felt let down by Black Ops. I thought it was just rubbish. I didn't like it online, and I thought the PlayStation 3 version, even though I kind of generally played it on the 360, I thought the PlayStation 3 version was terrible. And it was just, it was almost like a bit of a wake-up call. And I'd wanted really an excuse to come off Call of Duty. And so ultimately, the fact that Black Ops was so bad, it made me come off it a little bit. So the thinking behind this was, if I get the PlayStation 3 version of Call of Duty, I won't play it as much as I would do if it was a 360 one. And initially that worked, you know, to plan. That's exactly what was happening even. But slowly, as the days have gone on, I've been taking this online more and more, back to square one. And I'm actually doing really well with the PS3 controller. I've finally kind of acclimatised to its sensitivity and how it works and all the rest of it. So I'm just as good, arguably, now on the PlayStation 3 with Call of Duty than I was on the 360, or than I am on the 360, I should say. But yeah, I'm going to start to gradually come off it a little bit, but I am enjoying it, I've got to say. It's funny because I think it was like maybe the second day this came out, I was online, and Sean Sidious, if you're aware of who he is. If you're not aware of who Sean is, check out the link below. He's a good guy with a really good channel, very chilled out dude, and you'll like his channel. So please, if you don't know who he is, check out his channel, at least have a look. Anyway, so I was online the other night, and Sean was online at the same time, and he sent me a quick invite, said, do you want a few games? And I said, alright, but I'm not very good with the PlayStation 3 controller. So we had a few games. Now, actually, funnily enough, at that time, when he sent me an invite, I was playing... I was playing Call of Duty, obviously, but I was recording it because I was going to put up some gameplay. And then I changed my mind, and I thought, what's the point, because everyone's doing it. But I've actually, as a result, because I left the camera, the recording capture card running, I've recorded some of the games that we had with each other, which is kind of funny. So I may put them on sometime in the future, I may not, you know... I did really well in one game and really rubbish in another, you know, typically. Inconsistent as I was, or kind of still am, with the PS3 controller. So that was funny. So we played that, and it was fun. I mean, I did have a bit of lag at my end, I've got to be honest, which did take away a little bit of the enjoyment, but it was still a laugh. It's always a laugh, you know, playing with people who you know. It just, I don't know, I just much prefer that these days. You know, the older I get, I just kind of like going online, but playing with friends or people who I know, YouTube or whatever. Playing with randoms doesn't really wash with me anymore. I just don't really like it. And I can see myself maybe slowly but surely sort of coming off multiplayer, which is might sound a bit weird to some people, and just really just staying with single player stuff, unless I'm playing with friends. So anyway, what do I think of this game in general? I've got to be honest, I am a Modern Warfare fan. I'm an Infinity Ward fan. And I knew this would be good, much better than anything Treyarch put out, which is usually rubbish, quite frankly. I didn't like a Call of Duty 3, which is Treyarch. I didn't mind World at War, Treyarch. Black Ops, I thought the story was alright, it screws you the head a little bit. Multiplayer was kind of a bit rubbish as far as I was concerned. So again, as a package, put me off anything Treyarch. Ultimately, that's what Black Ops did. So I was a little bit kind of sceptical to a degree, but ultimately I knew, because it's Infinity Ward, and because I like Modern Warfare, I knew it wouldn't disappoint. And for me, it's the best one in the series in terms of storyline, in terms of multiplayer. Now, in saying that, even though I say it's the best one in the series, my favourite is still Modern Warfare, the first one, simply because that was the first game that came along and really captivated me. And I guess just it was the first game that I'd ever come across that just wanted me. I just wanted to play it all the time. That real kind of addictive thing about it. You just wanted to play it online, just one game after another. And I personally really got involved and engrossed with the story, got to like and to understand the characters, and I really liked it. And it's nice to see it finally come to a bit of a close in Modern Warfare 3. It does make me laugh, though. I'm going to sound like a complete fanboy, and this is embarrassing at my age, but I just thought I'd give my 2 pence worth. But there's this, it's weird, because I think his name, and I might have this wrong, not that much of a fanboy if I'm going to get his name wrong. I think it's like Craig Fairbrass. I'm sure it was a guy in EastEnders, the Cockney London guy, whatever. And he voiced a character in Modern Warfare called, oh Christ, I forgot it already, Gaz. And then in Modern Warfare 2, he voiced the same character called Ghost. And then in this one, he voices another character called Wallcroft. Now, in my opinion, and I don't want... this is a danger of putting this on video. I'm going to get a load of 6-year-olds going, I can't be arsed with that. I'm not going to get into a debate. But in my opinion, I think they're all the same person. Not the same person in the same voice. They're obviously the same voice. I think maybe the next Call of Duty, if there's a Modern Warfare 4 or if there's a spin-off, I think it will be revealed that they're the same person. It's the same character in each one. But there's a reason why... because I just think it's too much of a coincidence that you've got the same guy doing the same voice for 3 different characters. I don't know, I think there's more than meets the eye there. Or it just simply could be, Infinity War just kind of playing with our minds and just... Because it's just a game, it's not real. Maybe they're just trying to, make us think and we can believe it if we want to believe it or don't if we don't. But that's what I think. I think they're all ultimately the same person. That's what I think. But I don't really care. I just thought I'd share that. So anyway, I do really like it. It's an excellent game. Thoroughly recommended, which, like I said, I never thought I would say because Call of Duty is very much the same thing now. I don't think if you've not been into Call of Duty games so far, you're probably not going to like this one. Because it's just the same thing, but it's a little bit better. So that's it for now. That's gone on quite a bit. So 2 PlayStation 1 games, 6 PlayStation 3 games added to the old collection. There's another console which I've got my eye on. I'm thinking of getting it before Christmas. And then there's a massive console, some of you will know what I'm talking about, that I really want to get. A really old school one, but like the best one out there. It's such an amazing one, but it's so expensive. It's not that simple as just buying it. You've really got to think about it. Because there's no point having the console and then having like 2 or 3 games. What's the fun in that? If you're going to get this console, you're probably going to have to get the big games. And if you get the big games, you're going to spend a lot of money. So it's a big decision. So I might slowly but surely pick games up as of next year. Not sure. But anyway, more of that when we come to it. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Thanks to everyone who's subbed for the first time. If you're watching this for the first time and you're looking at that, that's not going to be, here very often. It's just the Movember and all that kind of stuff, honestly. So, yeah, thanks for the subs. I've just crept past 850, which is fantastic, and all the rest of it. So until next time, where you won't be seeing this moustache, see you later.